Stop it. Get some help.
And with that, Four Nights of Apocalypse is officially over.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It is now Seven Deadly Sins again. We're dropping the Four Nights at Seven Deadly Sins. Meliodas is here. He has changed the series back to Seven Deadly Sins. No, but in all seriousness though, this chapter, chapter 51 of Four Nights of Apocalypse, we get to see Meliodas back in the flesh, in the story. Absolutely hype. I'm sorry I'm going out of order, but it's freaking Meliodas. How can you not be hype about him? But that aside, the actual chapter though is actually really straightforward when you look at it. Just like as straightforward as it can be to make sure you like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Please do that for me. You know, just some good content coming up for you guys. So make sure you are liking and subscribing so you can see that. But the actual chapter though, getting into it, as I was saying, really straightforward, with the group being more or less extremely shocked that they're actually in Leonis already, which kind of makes sense because I feel like myself, it, as well as I think other people, it just kind of happened with Lancelot using the transportation spell being just like, boom, we're in Leonis, and it was just like, wow, whoa, this kind of just happened. So it was very abrupt, and I kind of like that the characters in the story are also like kind of taken aback by it too. And another like small touch that I like is how everyone is, you know, really taken aback by being in such a big city, because like when you think about it, Nansons, Annie, and Percy are all essentially Hicks. Like they've never actually been to a big city or anything like that. The closest thing would be Annie, who lived in a town, but even she's like taken away by all of the sites in Leonis. So the group actually does end up making it to the castle to see or meet with Meliodas, and the guards recognize Lancelot immediately, and they call him like Sir Lancelot, which I might have spoke too soon. I was like, maybe Lancelot is going to be like a play, or he's gonna, maybe where like Nakaba is going to make Lancelot not known, but Lancelot's actually really well known, it appears, in Leonis, just because the guards recognized him immediately. But from here they aren't able to meet with Meliodas because he is out partying, which it's nice to see that Meliodas is basically still the exact same character. And in the midst of them looking for him, they lost Percy, or not really they lost Percy, but Percival kind of wandered off on his own, which you would really think they would have been paying attention to where he was, but it all works out perfectly. Percival just has his absolute head in the clouds, is absolutely mesmerized by everything, and which makes a lot of sense because if you relate Percival back to the character that he's based on, Percival in the Arthurian lore, Percival was actually like he had a more or less sheltered upbringing. Like he wasn't raised with civilization. So that part of, you know, the story Percival and the Four Knights Percival, with them being naive and just new to the world, I kind of like how they both have that similarity. It fits really well. And then Percival's just really funny. He's just walking with his head straight up, not looking where he's going at all. Even people are laughing at him at the side of the road. It was just great to see. And he ends up running to this old dude who we see is Dreyfus, which is hype. Anybody who's known anything about Seven Deadly Sins would know all the important stuff that Dreyfus was a part of in the original series. And it's funny, Dreyfus is the old man now. You got to think about Dreyfus had, like, this is 16 years after, at the end of Seven Deadly Sins. Dreyfus was already pretty old then. I want to say he should be about 60. I'm not for sure how old he is, but he should be around his 60s. I know he's in his 50s in the either 50s or late 40s in Seven Deadly Sins. So he should be like in his 60s, like little, like pretty old. So Percival bumps into him. He hurts his back. He has chronic back issues. Dreyfus, like I said, he's an old man. Dreyfus is an old man, but Percival offers to carry the stuff that Dreyfus was carrying in instead. And then we get to see Hendrickson. We've got to see Dreyfus and Hendrickson. It's only right. If you see one of them, you got to see the other one. Hendrickson offers to, you know, check on Dreyfus's back, but Percival was already handling it. He slapped one of his little mini Percys on there and is healing whatever pain is ailing him. And it's funny because you get the scene of Dreyfus and Indy being confused over what it is, because no one in Leonis is going to know what this little thing is, because Percival barely even knows what it is his own self. And in the middle of Percival carrying the boxes to the boar's hat, he runs into Meliodas. We don't get to see him in that exact part, but we know it's Meliodas. And Meliodas recognizes, you know, the dragon handle immediately. He recognizes it immediately. So he already knows exactly who Percival is, everything that's going on. Like Meliodas, this just worked out for him. Like Meliodas just he went on like a walk because no one was even there. at the Boar's Hat at the right time, and everything just works out for him, which is perfect for Meliodas because that's just how his character works. Things just always tend to work out for him. But then Percival do end up going back to the Boar's Hat, and to repay Percival, he cooks him a meal. And it was just like, I don't know what part of me was thinking that maybe his cooking had gotten better. I was either thinking A, his cooking got better, or B, maybe Percival would love his food. Like, I thought like maybe it wouldn't be super gross, because no one likes Meliodas' food, like at all. Even Hawk, even Hawk is like, these are low tier scraps. Like, even the pig that eats trash realizes that Meliodas' scraps are like bottom tier. So Percival does dig in, and he likes it at first, but it almost kills him because he sees his granddad in the afterlife. So Meliodas almost ended 4 nights right there. When Percival does awake, Meliodas is looking at his stuff, looking at, the scratch on his helmet, as well as the Ouroboros on his cape, and says he never thought that, Varghese, his grandchild, would be one of the 4 Knights of Apocalypse, which I feel like is definitely the most interesting part. Like, obviously Meliodas is the most hype part of the chapter. Everyone would agree there. But as far as interesting, I feel like it is very interesting that Meliodas does have knowledge of Varghese, and it feels like that the scratch on the helm and the Ouroboros, I mean, obviously the Ouroboros has some significance, but it feels like these things may play a much bigger part in Percival's story overall. So I did think that was interesting that Meliodas does know a bit about all of that. And of course, Percival is really, really shocked. He's like, how do you know my name? Who are you? And then Meliodas does reveal himself to be, Meliodas, owner of the Boar's Hat, as well as the King of Leonis. I did find it kind of interesting that Nakaba did decide to, go back to the original Boar's Hat design, because I know that we did change it, or that he did change it midway through the series. But I guess since it's not on Mama Hawk, because Mama Hawk isn't really a thing anymore, that he just made it a stationary location in Leonis, which is cool because that place did mean a lot to Meliodas at the end of the day. So it was cool that it had a stationary spot there. But outside of that, the chapter wasn't super duper crazy. There wasn't huge lore dumps. It was kind of just this big tease leading up to Meliodas, which, I mean, even though in normal senses it wasn't that crazy, I was still really pumped up for Meliodas. And just the interactions between Percival and Dreyfus, as well as Percival and Meliodas, were just really, really funny to me. They were Percival eating the food was just I was cracking up. But one of the only weird things that I kind of was thinking about after reading this chapter is that I wonder why when the initial group of Lancelot, Nance, and Donnie and Annie actually did make it to the castle, when Lancelot just wanted to leave and go kill some time, just because Meliodas wasn't there, I kind of wonder where Elizabeth was in this moment. I wonder, was she actually in the castle? Maybe it was Tristan, or is Tristan kind of doing his own thing? Or maybe Lancelot's idea of killing time is going to find Tristan and then just maybe hanging out or something. I would be kind of dope. I would be really okay with that, to be honest with you. If they were just all going to meet up with Tristan, or maybe meet up with Elizabeth, and then maybe everybody reconvenes together. That would be kind of dope. Another thing I'm thinking about is I'm not really for sure what could happen next chapter. I kind of think they might do what I was just talking about, have a meetup with everybody, or maybe go see Elizabeth, or maybe we might get to see even more characters from the OG 7 Deadly Sins, because you gotta remember, this is Leonis, so there's probably tons of old Holy Knights that we haven't seen in a long time here, like Gil Thunder. I mean, Hauser might still, he might be back here, even Gria, more Veronica. There's tons of characters that we have not seen at all in 4 Nights that we could potentially get to see next chapter, which could be hype just to see everyone's new and updated design. But all that aside, I give the chapter probably a solid 8, just for pure hypeness. Just pure, the hype of Meliodas definitely carried this chapter for me. No questions asked there. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen next down below. I am very curious to know where you guys think this could potentially go. Do you think we're going to get go the Elizabeth and Tristan route, or maybe it's just going to be more Percival and Meliodas talking? I'm not for sure how far a conversation between those two would go, because Meliodas is intelligent, but he's also really goofy, and Percival's naive and really dumb. So I'm not for sure how far a conversation between those two would actually go. So, but yeah, just let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Your rating. Are you guys hyped for Meliodas in the actual story now? Just let me know all of that. That aside, you guys all enjoy the rest of your day. I will catch you all in my next video. So see you there.